Alright. What's up, guys? What is up, you guys? It's Joelle. Welcome back to my channel. You can see I'm here in my dorm room. Well, actually, not in my dorm room. I'm living in my sorority for my final quarter of college, and I'm making this video super last minute just because sorority rush is coming around. Ooh, exciting. And for a lot of schools that do rush right at the beginning of the year, or that do it before you even like matriculate, this may be too late for y'all. I'm sorry. But Dartmouth rush starts probably the week that I'll be posting this video, so I thought I would just get it out there because I did an Instagram Q&A and asked you guys what kind of topics you'd like me to address. One of them was Greek life. So here we are, and I just want to give a super quick video on reasons why you should or should not rush a sorority. So for those of you guys who are new here, welcome, welcome. Y'all should subscribe, join the J team. I am a senior at Dartmouth, or super senior basically. I have one more quarter left here, and for this last quarter I'm living in my sorority, and I've been in a sorority since my sophomore year. At Dartmouth, you're not allowed to rush as a freshman, which I think is an excellent rule. I've had a very positive experience overall, and I've made a lot of videos about rush that I'm happy to post and will have linked in the description. I just want this video to help you consider a few things before you decide to rush or to not rush, and figure out whether it's for you. I know it's different at every school, how Greek life operates and all that, but these are kind of the things that I have thought a lot about since rushing, and also thought a lot about as I was making the decision to rush or join a house during my rush process. I have 5 reasons to rush, 5 reasons to not rush, so you guys can take these things, think about them, and consider whether rushing a sorority would be right for you. Reason to not rush is that rush sucks just as a process. The girl flirting is exhausting, and you're basically being evaluated by a bunch of people that you don't know, which is never super fun. However, on the pro side, there is a way to approach rush in that you're meeting a lot of new people that you probably would have never met before, and you're getting exposed to a lot of different parts of campus, and whether the rush process works out in your favor and you end up in a house that you like or not, you're able to have met a lot of people that you wouldn't have been able to before. Reason to not rush is the socioeconomic and racial divide that's kind of inherent in most Greek systems. Just like the history of Greek institutions has been male, white, and wealthy, I guess, especially at a place like Dartmouth, where that pretty much continues in a lot of the houses where that's like the dominant culture. And you have to think about whether you're okay being in an institution that is pretty socioeconomically exclusive. Dues are a thing. Yes, there's financial aid, but obviously not everyone can have financial aid, and just the culture attracts wealth, whiteness, that sort of thing. So particularly as a woman of color, that's important to think about, whether you think that you could find your place there, and then ideologically, like, do you feel good being part of this institution that's historically not been super great for people of color and for minorities in other senses as well. It's not to say that like anyone who is in a Greek house or whatever is racist or something like that, but realistically, like, look at the history of like frat culture. Like, it's just, you can't ignore what the institution is rooted in, and you have to think about that and like really be okay with your participation in it. The pro side, however, is that you're being pushed out of your comfort zone, especially if you're the kind of person who would not ordinarily end up in a Greek space, or would not end up with these types of people that you might encounter in Greek life. It's really good exposure to a lot of different things. I really value just having friends from a lot of different parts of campus, and getting to know people who are from all kinds of backgrounds, and being able to navigate that and to be able to make friends and form meaningful relationships in that area is super awesome. And it's interesting also, a lot of people that I would have never come in contact to if I had not rushed ended up being some of my closest friends on campus, and I'm like so thankful that we ended up together. Reason to not rush, number 3, again, it's expensive. You're paying for dues, you end up paying for alcohol, and even things like there's formals and whatever. You might buy a dress or just feel more obligated to spend money. I know it might not be this way at other schools. It might be more inclusive, or they might have more support from your national, which we do not have. So that's just one thing to consider. It's a paid social group. However, on the pro side, this could be a long-term investment for you because it provides amazing networking opportunities. As I mentioned in my things I wish I knew before college video, networking is super important. Let's be real, half the jobs anyone gets is because someone who knows someone's dog's aunt, frog, whatever, and they put in a referral and threw your resume to the top of the stack. Not that you should make friends in order to have the networking opportunities, but my sorority has provided me a lot of perspectives on professional life and a lot of people who can give advice. Even if they're not like directly handing me a job, it's helpful to be like, I know this person in this industry and they have this input on what I'm doing, and maybe down the line I will meet someone from my sorority who is an exec in Hollywood. That would be great, and maybe she could pull through for a sister, you know? The next potential con is party culture. I get a lot of questions about what it's like to party, particularly as a Christian. How do you feel in that space when drinking, drugs, sex, whatever are emphasized? And that can be really stressful for a lot of people, and it can also break people down in a way where they have not taken the time to think about their value systems and what they're okay with and how they want to spend their time and the type of people they want to spend time with. So if you would not want to put yourself in those situations, make sure you're aware of the type of culture that whatever Greek houses you're looking at has. However, on the pro side, that may be what you're looking for, and maybe you don't have a structured group of friends to go out with and to do fun things with, and a sorority would provide a really great community for you to be able to continually come back to. Dartmouth is a pretty small school, so it's not hard to see the same people over and over again, but if you're in a much larger school and it's really hard to see the same people and to just like have that ability to kind of naturally form relationships with the people that are around you, then Greek life is a great way to just have some structure and be able to bring a group of women together that you can learn from and that you can, you know, have a fun time with, have like that in at the party with, and hopefully also take some time in other social situations to form those deep, meaningful relationships. So yes, party culture is totally a double-edged sword. I have really enjoyed being able to go out while I'm at Dartmouth, but it has not defined my experience, and it's not been a super crucial part of a lot of my relationships in my sorority. But it totally depends on who you're around, what you're comfortable with. So just ask yourself and ask people about what the culture is like in all of these respective houses you might be looking at. And kind of going off of that, my last reason to not rush is peer pressure. If you are super susceptible to peer pressure, and I don't just mean in the ways of partying or drinking or whatever, but if you're heavily influenced by the people that you're around, and it can be really hard for you to be with a group of women and not feel like compared in a sense, that can be really tough because the rush process inherently is comparing you to the other people that you're rushing with. And for me, actually, that was something that was really weird and took an adjustment, because basically when I rushed, I was suddenly surrounded by all of these incredibly smart, incredibly beautiful women, and I felt like I didn't fit in because I was not good enough to like be there, you know, especially as a woman of color in a predominantly white sorority at a predominantly white school. It just didn't feel like I fit in, and it didn't feel like I deserved to be there. And I also had people outside of the sorority like questioning why I rushed and like how I got in, basically, like as a woman of color, which was like not super fun to deal with. It was actually quite weird, and that is something that like actually really bothered me. I don't think that that is like entirely a good reason to not rush, but seriously, if your identity is coming from your social circles, if you're being informed about yourself by the people that you're around in a negative way, then I would say you are not ready to rush. Ask yourself, is the house that you get into going to determine your evaluation of your social standing at your school? Is it going to make you feel better or worse about yourself depending on the name that you get to wear the letters of? If that's the case, then I would say it's probably better to keep yourself out of those situations for now, which might be really hard because everyone's doing it, feels like everyone's rushing, but I swear that's just not the case, and it will be long-term more detrimental to you to have to like be in those situations than for you to take time and learn about yourself in an isolated state before going into that. And to end it off on a positive note, my last reason for why you may want to rush is because despite the peer pressure, if you feel very solid in who you are and you are comfortable with yourself and all the goodness that you can bring into a community, then you don't have to worry about being defined by the people around you. You know that you can set the social temperature, if you will, of where you are, and that you have something positive to bring to those communities. And instead of being worried about being influenced and peer pressured, you can bring a positive influence into that environment and spread love and positivity and positive, supportive female relationships. And I think that that is a beautiful thing, and I always recommend, if you're rushing, look at each house as a place that you will learn from and that you'll receive a lot from, but also as a place where you may have the opportunity to bring yourself to bring something to and contribute. That takes a lot of work. It's not fun or easy all the time to be trying to make positive changes in an environment, especially when you're new and just figuring things out, but that is a long-term benefit of rushing that I've really enjoyed, and that has helped me form a lot of positive relationships and memories as part of a Greek house at Dartmouth. So my camera is dying, and that's all I have to say. This is a really quick, casual video, but I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about Rush or Greek life in general, feel free to leave those in the comments down below, or hit me up through Instagram or whatever's easiest. And I'm always happy to chat, because this is something that has meant a lot to me during my time at Dartmouth, but has provided a lot of opportunities for me to grow as an individual as well. Again, feel free to subscribe if you haven't for some fun college, lifestyle, and career content. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Love you. Jesus loves you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.